The little car that never had a wash. I wish they wouldn't park you by me, said the blue Cadillac. You're always so dirty. A smart brown convertible nodded. She doesn't even smell very nice, he said. All that dirt must reduce your speed, said the two-seater sports car. Ricky, the little red car, felt ashamed. It wasn't his fault that none of the cars in the big garage liked him and wanted to stand near him. They were hosed down and polished regularly. But Ricky's owner, Charlie Collins, was lazy and never bothered to wash the dirt from him or even clean his windows properly. The little red car had never had a wash in his life. Whenever he was put back in the garage, Ricky felt unhappy, for all the other cars tried to edge away from him and made remarks about how dirty he was. One day, Charlie Collins was driving in the town when suddenly there was a loud bang. The little red car stopped. He felt all lopsided. One of his tires had burst. "Oh, darn," said Charlie. "I expect there was a nail in the road, as there was a garage close by." Charlie drove the little car limping into the garage and asked a mechanic to put on a new tire. "You need 4 new tires, not 1, said the mechanic, walking around Ricky. "They're all worn down to the treads." Charlie grumbled at having to buy 4 new tires, but he had to agree that they were necessary. The mechanic set to work and put on 4 brand new tires. Ricky could see himself in the garage mirror and he was thrilled. "I've got 4 new shoes," he told himself proudly. "You're carrying a mighty lot of dirt around with you," remarked the mechanic. "Why not put your car through the car wash?" He pointed to a sign that said, "Car wash, entry. It'll only take you a few moments to go through, washed, waxed, and dried." "Okay," said Charlie. "Put a car wash on the bill." Getting into the little red car, he drove him into the car wash. Then began the most exciting experience Ricky had ever had. Great fountains of water suddenly spouted all over him. He puffed and blew, quite taken by surprise. The water sluiced all over him and down his windows. Then, almost before he could draw breath, 2 enormous rollers came flapping out from somewhere and began to tickle him. Ricky wiggled and squirmed and laughed. He'd never enjoyed anything so much in his life. The rollers dried him all over thoroughly from roof to chassis, and then a waxy substance shot out and polished him until he felt smooth and sleek. When at last he glided out of the car wash, he looked like new. Charlie climbed out to pay his bill, then stopped and gazed in astonishment. "I'll be darned if that isn't worth paying for," he cried. "I didn't know I've got such a smart car. I'm real proud of you." Ricky laughed. He was proud too. Looking at himself in the garage mirror before he left, he hardly knew himself. "This won't be your last wash," said Charlie. "I'm going to take you along to that car wash every week." When the other cars in the big garage saw Ricky, they could hardly believe their eyes. The big blue Cadillac blinked his headlamps in amazement. "Whatever's happened to you?" he demanded. "I thought for a minute you were a new car." "You do look smart," admitted the brown convertible. "I've been through a car wash," explained Ricky. "You've got new tires too," said the sports car. "Come and stand next to me," said the Cadillac. "I'm always washed by hand and hose myself." "Do tell me what happened in a car wash. I'd love to go through. It must be quite an adventure." Ricky sighed happily. He wasn't an outcast anymore, and wouldn't be again, for from now on, Charlie Collins had promised he'd have a wash every week.